I think that that generally not you should be stressed out, but the other persons, because you you look very nice, but it seems from the description available online you should be a very dangerous person.
Look like an angel, but I'm devil. No, really.
Okay, so welcome Raoul and his presentation about hacking.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry for being late, but I haven't slept at all because I was supposed to fly in yesterday evening, but there were some big issues back in Rome, so I had to fly through other countries, and I just arrived this morning early. Any sleep at all, so that's why I'm rushing. Actually, I will speak also this afternoon at 3:30, which will be more a field talk about experiences on pen testing. This is more an high view. I belong to ISECOM. I will show you in a few slides. And this half an hour, even as now, is only about OSSTMM. Whoever heard about the OSSTM, OSSTMM? Well, that's a good score compared to the standards. Let's begin. Wrong button. Should be this one. This one? Yep. Okay, so a small intro, a few words about ISECOM, and then we'll go straight into the OSSTM. And then there is something that is very, very interesting because for a pen tester, I started my first pen test back in 1996, so that's a long time ago. That's more than 22 years. We have seen everything. We have run more than, I don't know, we don't count it anymore, but I think it's more than 3,000 pen testings all around the world, actually on telcos, but also on banks, on everything, on ships, on satellites, airplanes, trains, and so on and so on. We are it has been a surprise, and we are so honored that the ISO, in the meaning of the committee of the ISO, they decided to pick up OSSTM, and it will become an ISO standard. It will become, because it's a long story that I will explain at the end of the talk, but everything started back in, that's so embarrassing, it started back in 2005, and we are in 2018, but I will tell you. So, a small intro. That's a few things about me. I don't care at all about the business thing. I'm a guy that loves to share his knowledge. I care more about the UN. For those who knows UNICRI, UNICRI, that's the United Nations Interregional Crime and Justice Research Institute. I'm the daddy of HPP. Who ever heard about HPP, Hackers Profiling Project? It's me. I'm the guy who created that. That was a cool challenge, actually, to be able to match the profiling of the criminals against the world of hacking. That has been a challenge. We have been able to make it. We have been able to export this to the United States, where actually they created hackers and profiling. So that has been a good score. Whoever heard about ENISA, the agency? Okay, I spent 5 years of my life at ENISA, the PSG, the Permanent Stakeholder Group, and I learned two things. How politics is something that I don't think I will ever be able to understand. I learned plenty of things, but I learned also how politics can actually ruin, in the worst scenario, or at least slow InfoSec and cybersecurity. But a good thing that came out from my time agency is the GDPR, in the meaning that I think that it's correct that if an asset is hacked, the owners of the asset, they inform us as clients that they had a security breach. It has been a big goal. I do think that you know ISECOM, but I will introduce you. ISECOM, a last thing for you. Who knows IPWG? I love those guys. Hi, Baiba. I love those guys because they do really cool things. If you're into mobile security, if you want to learn more about the cybercrime, we publish stuff, papers, and so on. Everything is for free, and it's a good place for data, for statistics, for evidences, but especially for methodologies in order to exchange the info and the data of the criminals in real time. So, who is ISECOM? ISECOM stands for Institute for Security and I'll say Open Methodologies. It's a no-profit thing, and we started back in 2000, so it's a long time now. It started as a think tank originally. I will not have the time to tell you all the story, but there is a cool story behind me and Pete Herzog and Hidea Hamster, the first name, and the ISECOM also. What we do? We try to create and provide something that is really usable and can be used, and for free. Everything is resumed here. I do think that on the perspective of the audience, these two are the main users of the OSSTMM and the metrics, and so on and so on. We do, as I told you, plenty of things. Everything is resumed here. Those two that I love, of course, more is the OSSTMM and the HPP. But if you take a look at isecom.org, you may be able to see everything that we do and all the stuff that we do. Of course, OSSTMM, OSSTMM, is the big thing is the top thing for us. I'm not sure I'm really up to date. It should be really more, but I cannot not tell you in a while the story behind the OSSTMM, the OSSTMM and Pete Herzog. I have to. Darling, I feel the no sleep. I begin to feel it. Okay, at the time, Pete Herzog, who created OSSTMM and ISECOM, as I told you, he was an employee at IBM at the ISS back in 1999. He was paid in order to create a methodology for pen testing. He met a girl over there, Marta Barcelo, and they fall in love at IBM in Germany. Out of them, and one evening they said something. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know the right words, but the concept was, "Hey, should we really keep on to be employees for the Big Blue and to build something that should be available to everyone, but that will be sold for money, or should we quit our job and risk and take the challenge and build a no-profit thing and keep on our idea and our dream and make it for free for all of the world?" You get the answer. They decided to keep the job, and it's not against IBM or anything else. It's about when you are open sourcing your soul, you are open source for all of your life. And that's one of the reasons why I fall in love with Pete also, because when he told me the story, he called me to join ISECOM at the end of '99. And I told him, "Hey, there is no standard at all. You are building the future, Pete. You know this." And he told me he's a tall guy from US, New York. He moved to Barcelona in Spain. He loves Europe. Is more European than US now, after all this time. And I just hugged him and told him I'm into the team. So I was member number 4 at ISECOM. And I'm proud of this story because I think that the same thing happened with OWASP and with plenty of communities all around the world. So the good thing for you to know is that the OSSTMM is a standard in order to test everything from a guard tower to a physical asset to everything that you may ever need to test on. Is as an actual scientific approach. One of the coolest things that we build is the OPSEC, Operational Security. Do I have a laser here? I think is there. No. I'm not able to use this. Back in 2010, we created OSSTMM 3.0, and we are on OSSTMM 4 as for now. I'll tell you the story in a few minutes. The cool thing of the OSSTMM is that we define the rules and the guidelines and the RAV. RAV is so important because we've been the first one all over the world to be able to assign a numerical score to a risk, and you find it into a pen tester. We're running a pen testing or a VA or anything else. We don't substitute to the RA in that field, not at all, but instead we are the guys who built the standard in order to allow you guys, all the pen testers, all the analysts, to test, to process everything that they found, and to get to the results. It's a cool thing because it's free to use. It's a cool thing because it can be applied, as I told you, to everything. It's a cool thing because, in opposite to other standards, we don't see only IP in the meaning of TCP/IP, but it can be applied to every kind of protocol and so on. Why actually? Because we created 6 areas, op area, and those splits into modules, as I'll show you in a few slides. Here we go. So this is about internet, but we do also have all of the rest. And in order to say it's not so easy to resume more than 300 pages in a few minutes, but just to allow you to have a touch and feel, when we say this area, it means actually all of these tasks to be executed in order to reach the results. As far as we know, we've been the first one to talk about SE as well, social engineering. This was happening already back in between 2001 and 2002 into open testing. And those say other 3 areas. As an example, when we say wireless security, to us it isn't on the Wi-Fi only, but that's about every kind of connection which is unwired. An example of an part to the OSSTMM, because it's so important when the different modules they are able to talk and interact each others. In the OSSTMM 3, we expanded the thing, so as you can see, we decided to move the view and the approach, and we created a core area and all around all the others paths and process to the goals. You can actually download for free OSSTMM, OSSTMM.org. The release 3 there is about 200 pages or more, and it's really cool. What actually isn't available to public is the 4.0, because ISO entered in this game, and I'm going to show you now. I have to show this. I have to show you all the guys that are there. They keep on to help us for free from all around the world. Kudos to of them, and a big thank to all of these guys. OSSTMM 4. We are as more than 250 pages as per now. I would say our peer review is really long. It takes a long time. So A is still on peer review, and B, we still have to speak to ISO and interact. So everything had like a freeze. Let's go indeed to ISO. They begin to call it the new ISO hacking standard. It isn't that. It's ISO who decided to pick up the best available all around. So they decided to pick up OSSTMM and the NIST from the United States. So I try to be quick. This was from a long time ago. So here we go. They decided, I go straight to the meat, code of practice, MSS. Okay, they decided to pick up these areas from the NIST in the United States, and they decided to pick up these others that I will show you soon from OSSTMM. Malaka, the long time. Okay, here we go. So actually, as you all can see and understand, they decided to pick up from the geeks as all the things that we are more able to do, and they decided to pick up from the NIST all those tasks that aren't so technical, but instead applied more to a high view, as I should have in this slide. Yes, okay. So if you actually compare these two, you can see that we are the techies, okay, and they are on the, as I told you, on the high view of the full thing and the full process. An example who may look so funny to you, but this slide took to the committee of ISO and this job, this thing, to accomplish this thing, 2 years and a half. So to me, I'm a quick guy, I do my job, I do a pen test. It's kind of insane to spend 2 years and a half in order to change some words, but it's happening, and that is actually happening because, as I showed you a few slides ago, the committee of ISO, let me find where I have it, yeah, they need the 2/3 of votes in order to approve something, and they meet all over the world 2 times per year. So it takes time to build an ISO, but it's an ISO. So to us, it's a good thing. We weren't expecting this to be so long and time consuming. On the ISECOM perspecve, this also does somehow to slow on the OSDEM 4, and it's a bad thing, but still it's okay with us. Let me see what else I can show you in this 2 minutes. Okay, yeah. The hardest thing is to merge the two things. So this is where we, as geeks, we got really crazy because, well, it's easy to understand the reason why. What we are proud of is that ISO, they decided to put 2 annexes, Annex A and B. H is from ISECOM, and those are the 2 things that we are more proud of because it's the scientific approach of the OSSTMM to the real results of open testing. Placeholder integration with other frameworks. Yeah, there are some new things that are ongoing still. When I first through this thing, this iron slides, we were acting all of this job to be ended by the end of 2015, as I told you before, and it still isn't out there. It should arrive, but I don't want anymore to risk to hope for a date, but it should be in 1 or 2 years, hopefully. I think we are done. So, as is the to say end of the story. I hope that it has been useful to you. I will send all the slides to their organizers, of course. I said also a few links and my email if you have anything to ask to me. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions?
What about the standards? What is in state draft? For example, for ISECOM 4th version and web application standard. I've seen it in draft, I don't know, 5 years about.
You are true. On the OSSTMM 4, we decided to do something that we didn't want to do before. That was actually to go against OWASP, because OWASP to us is friends, is brothers, but OWASP isn't a methodology, it's a checklist. So at the end, after I was speaking with Pete for a long time, since 5 or so, as you said, it's correct, I decided to use the approach of the OSSTMM also to the web aspects of OpenTest, and I can tell you that I'm proud of the way that we took this approach, because it's in the ISECOM style and way. You are right again, because OSSTMM 4 isn't free to download as for now. If you had the chance to, how to say, to obtain it, have it. I think that even if it's a, do you have the draft 4.1? No, 4. What? As a draft.
I thought about web application standard. It's more interesting for me. I see the third version.
From the OSSTMM 4, it's into, but isn't public at this time yet. But it's really cool. I can be able to show you at the answer if you would like to. As to end my answer, it's true that at ISECOM we take long timings because it's voluntary, I said only, is non-profit, but especially because our also peer review, it takes such a long time, I know it. On the other hand, the way we decided to approach to the web aspects of security, I think it's really unique, really. Okay, thank you again. Bye.
Okay. Thank you very much. And a small present for you. I hope it will compensate all that challenges that you survived in order to come to the conference. Thank you very much. Thank you.